Today we have with us Akshat Singhal, founder and CEO Legistify, with a vision to transform the legal landscape through technology. Akshat has made significant strides in simplifying legal processes and enhancing access to legal services. In this exclusive interaction, we will delve deeper into Legistify's offering and Akshat's journey with Legistify. So, Akshat, shall we go ahead?
Sure, Manisha. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure to have you here. So tell us about Legistify and its offering.
Sure. So Legistify is a legal technology company, as you already know. What we do is we provide a comprehensive software that helps companies manage their overall legal operations, right? Manage and simplify their overall legal operations. So we've got modules covering contract lifecycle to litigation management to IP management and legal notices management. So this is what we do in a nutshell. We help companies digitize, streamline, and simplify their own in-house legal operations through the platform.
Can you please tell us about the trends that are shaping the legal tech in 2023?
Right. Manisha, that's a very interesting question. So, in my journey, since when I've started to track the legal tech landscape, which is 2011 odd, we've gone through multiple shifts as a sector. So, if you look at the entire trend, there have been three major aspects of trends that has happened sort of every 5 to 7 odd years. Keeping aside the first two trends, which was basically the basic introduction of internet across lawyers and law firms to adoption of SaaS for helping them digitize and streamline their work. In the year 2023, we actually sit at a cusp of a much, much bigger change with the advent of large language models and artificial intelligence. So 2023 or 2022 odd, the way in which I see this, the advent of artificial intelligence is a major market trend, and COVID has done nothing but just accelerated the entire adoption of SaaS platforms over the past 2-3 years. So we're at a very interesting point at this point of time in terms of a sectoral change.
How Legistify is tapping these market trends for growth?
Right. So very fortunately in our journey, over the last 2-3 years, we've always wanted to build a software company. And over the last 2-3 years, with our years of experience in handling legal matters for companies across the country, managing a legal marketplace, we've always, as I said, we've always wanted to build a software company. We started working on the software about 2.5 years ago, right at the start of COVID. So that sort of helped us grow the organization quite well, and that sort of helped a lot of companies adopt our solution. At this point of time, since the software is already there, and this is my personal belief that in a couple of years, plain vanilla softwares would just vanish out of the system. So anything which does not have artificial intelligence capabilities inside their software would not work. So at this point of time, our major focus and our major strategic decision or strategic outlook is to integrate more and more deep technology, which is artificial intelligence, across various touch points of a company's sort of legal case journey or a legal contract lifecycle journey. So that's what we're focusing on. That's what we're building towards. I'm a small business family from Jaipur, Rajasthan. So I've always seen people trying to build something on their own, or I've always seen the business side of things. This has always sort of fascinated me. Even my second year of college, while I was studying at BITS Pilani, I started working on a company on an idea which somehow couldn't scale up, but then that sort of gave me the right tools to even start the journey that we began at Legistify. So I've always been deeply interested in building something on my own, building something of value, building something of impact. So yeah, I mean, you can say that the entrepreneurial bug bit me quite early on.
Okay, so when did the concept of launching that technology-driven legal concierge platform first occurs in your mind?
Right. So as I was telling you, while I was in my second year, I was working on a different company. and we somehow couldn't scale it up. There were quite a few legal challenges also in terms of recovering payments from our vendors, from our partners. And that's when I realized that as a first-gen entrepreneur, or as someone who's got no access to sound legal advisory, it's rather difficult for you to get these things under control. And that's when the idea came into my mind. But while I was graduating out of college in 2015-16, I started talking to a lot of lawyers, entrepreneurs, enterprises, smaller companies, MSMEs, and that's when I found out that this problem is quite profound. So there's extremely limited access to sound legal advisory, trusted legal advice. And that's when we started working on Legistify. So we started off with a marketplace wherein lawyers would be on the platform, and you and I, as normal consumers, could just book in a consultation with the right lawyer, look at the data, look at the kind of profile that the lawyer possesses. And that's how the journey began. And as I said, we've always wanted to leverage more and more technology. So throughout all these years, we've gone through multiple ups and downs, we've gone through multiple pivots, we've tried out our hands on multiple business models. And fortunately, we've reached here, and are looking at quite a promising journey from here. Right. So it was quite interesting for us. I mean, however unfortunate the pandemic situation was, we actually grew quite a bit during the pandemic. So before the pandemic, we were essentially looking at litigation matters all across the country. We were helping um, enterprises discover the right lawyer, engage the right lawyer at a decent enough price, and then work manage the entire thing. During the pandemic, what everybody realized, and especially, I mean, you would be surprised to know that even in the 21st century, the largest of enterprises did not have access to sound legal tools or sound tech tools to manage their legal operations. That's where we came into picture. So the entire setup was far off from being digitized. A lot of large companies realized that this is not how, and especially after work from home, everybody not working under the same roof, people realize that it's a big problem. And that's when our software came into picture. So we actually, on an overall basis, we actually grew in terms of our customer base to 250% plus on that year, in terms of our revenue to 200% plus that year. So that's been I mean, it was a great start for us. And keeping in mind that that's when the official launch of the software happened.
So what has 2022 changed for you?
2022, I think the biggest driver for us, or the biggest so as I said, with the advent of large language models and AI being made accessible to normal public. So we also we had experimented with um, smaller usage of AI in the past as well, 2020, 2021. But especially post 2022, post the launch of OpenAI's ChatGPT, post the launch of all these LLMs that you see, everything has been made far more accessible than it was earlier. So I believe not just for us, but for a lot of businesses out there, this could potentially be the next sort of iPhone moment, or the next sort of mobile moment, or the internet moment.
And how are the things now, Akshat?
So things have been going great. We now working with over 300 plus large enterprises across the country. We've just revamped the product, so we've made a single integrated solution. There's a lot of internal work going on artificial intelligence. So that's something that we're constantly working on. We also look at a possible, so we're also getting a lot of organic interest from companies outside of India, um, which is something we're really excited about. So we're building for scale now.
What are your growth priorities in 2024?
So 2024, I believe the biggest priority is to reach a particular scale. I mean, we currently working with a sizable number of companies, but we would want to capture a sizable portion of the Indian enterprise market. while at the same time, so there are only two things in mind, right? So capture a sizable portion of the market and grow at a scale and get to a scale. And on the other hand, make something meaningful, which is really creating and adding value to our customers' work through technology. So these are the two focus areas that we have. I think that these are two focus areas that we have. One is to, of course, keep growing, get to a particular scale, get more customers on board, help them achieve the things that they want to through the software, and as in continuation to that, of course, uh, build something more meaningful, leverage more technology on the product, add more value to our customers' work.
Great hearing from you. Thank you, Akshat. Is there something else you would like to add, which I may have forgotten to ask?
No, not really. I think you've covered pretty much everything.
Okay, Akshat. Well, it was a great to hear these insights from you. Thank you very much for your
Thank you
time.
so much, Manisha. Thank you for your time.
Such
Thank
comprehensive
you.
insights.